Back in Martinsville, pit stops underway. Jeff Gordon, a little bit of trouble on the left rear. Service complete. They made an air pressure adjustment. A close call on pit road by Tony Stewart and Rusty Wallace. Around the wedge, an air pressure adjustment for Stewart. He was a little free.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Rusty Wallace, that Miller Lite crew, they came in 5th, go out 2nd. That's what you have to do here. Your crew has to buy you some position, just like that Tide crew did for you yesterday.
You got it right, buddy.
Dick Berggren.
Yeah, that was a 4-tire change for Rusty Wallace as well. Rusty left here so fast that he knocked Donald Richardson, his front tire changer, over. No injury here, but knocked him right over. Stevie?
Hey, Dick, Jamie McMurray, as we indicated just a little while ago, came in, made no changes. They had a little trouble getting off pit road, though. Donnie Wingo pointing out that the Winston Cup official was in the way as he watched Kenny Wallace's pit just next door to Jeannie.
Well, right before the caution came out, Kevin Harvick came on the radio. He was happy where he was at position-wise. He was looking forward to trying to save his brakes. Since he had to come in for the pit stop, they asked him what he wanted. He said, forward bite, baby. 4 tires, and they dropped the rear tire pressure as well, and he was out.
Thanks, Jeannie. We're under caution for Jerry Nadeau's spin. The Army car going around in turn 2, the 0-1.
I mean, these are guys, we talked about it earlier, desperation, trying to get back up there, stay close to the leader. And this caution was quite a break for Kenny Wallace and Mike Skinner there in the 4 car. These guys just trying to get back on the lead lap.
He did an incredible job of a 360 there to keep going. I see that a lot here at this racetrack.
From Dale Jr.'s on board. Nadeau spun almost into his teammate Johnny Benson, and then the two of them almost collided coming out of their pits together. But up at the front, Tony Stewart, Earnhardt Jr., and Jimmy Johnson each dropped a spot, and the reason was Rusty Wallace's great stop.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, there was the real winner right there was Rusty Wallace in that group. You do that all day, you'll pay off.
Old crew chief Jake Elder used to tell me he killed them in the pits.
Here's this week's not-so-secret number at the Be a Grand Marshal for a Day contest. Log on to NASCAR.com or FoxSports.com and enter for your chance to win. You'll start the race riding the pace car, spot for practice, wave the checkered flag in Rockingham. And you could direct 100 laps of the race, Hardy Kepner says. Here we go.
Now here's where it becomes aggravating. 28 cars on the lead lap, and Jeff Hammond, there's 15 cars on that inside line. That's what makes it tough if you're back there 5th, 6th, or 7th.
Yeah, Larry, right now it's going to be key for, like, see, Jeff Gordon. He's cleared that last traffic, which is exactly what he's looking for. Early during the race, he was able to open up a big lead until he got into lap traffic. And for Rusty Wallace, he needs to do the same thing if he wants to keep close with the 24 car. And talking about Rusty Wallace, I talked to Bill Wilburn earlier this morning, and he told me that he was so proud right now of what he's been able to accomplish with his pit crew, and I think he was able to show that right there on that first pit stop. And he's really got these guys working together. They're fast. They're going to give Rusty Wallace every opportunity here today to win this race because they're going to keep him up front all day off the pit road.
Hey, Jeff, I wonder if it's because Wilburn, got over and changed the tires there for a few weeks, and maybe he said, look, here's what we need.
I think so, Gerald. I think right now that Billy's been able to lose by some example as well as by motivating these guys. And I think Billy's doing a great job. I think he knows what's going on right now with this whole team better than a lot of people give credit for it. Dick Berggren, I think you got some more information on that, don't you?
Yeah, certainly. One of the things that Rusty's crew was talking about this morning was just not doing great pit stops, but also not having problems on pit road, because last year in this race, Rusty Wallace crashed with Mike Skinner, and that was really the end of his day. He started 5th as he did today, but that crash on pit road really put him out of contention for the win. So they are watching it, as is everybody else here. This is one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult, of all pit roads in Winston Cup racing.
And the reason for that, Dick, is because so many of the good pits, so many of the good cars are pitting in the turn down there. And when you start out, you forget that there's a wall out there, and you just drive out in front of people, not realizing you're in the turn.
I mean, this is probably one of the most treacherous pit roads we go to. It was one of the last racetracks that went to one pit road, but to do it, they had to make it start over in turn 3, goes all the way, comes out on turn 2.
Good battle between Kenny Schrader and Jimmy Spencer. Now dealing with the lap car of Johnny Benson, but they've been hammering back and forth for 6th place here. Now Spencer's going to single file it past Benson, and those two Dodges will probably pick the battle up right where they left off. Jeannie?
Well, for Bobby Labonte, battling out there on the track is something he is used to, but he's also used to being a very nice guy. You won't see much more of that out there on the track today. Earlier, trapped behind the 17 in the 01, he told our spotters, let him know I'm a nice guy, but not here. I'm not going to let him by anymore, and if they keep getting in front of me, I'm going to lay a bumper onto him.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Jeannie, we talked about a big break for Mike Skinner and Kenny Wallace with that caution coming out. Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett. It was a good break for those guys as well. We talked a little bit before that caution. They were about to go a lap down.
The problem you have is when you let people go by you, then everybody goes by you. You know, you want to let a guy by. You know he's better than you are, but you're afraid if you let him go, you're going to get freight trained. And so you try to hold on as long as you can. Don't want to make anybody mad, but, you know, everybody's fighting for the same piece of real estate.
I'm going to tell you what, you're looking at Kurt Busch right there in the 97 car, started back in 36th position. He's halfway to the front. He's up there battling with Bobby Labonte right now. He's in the 18th spot.
And the thing about it is, Larry, we always felt like if we could stay on the lead lap to the first caution, whenever that is, if you can hang in there and stay on the lead lap to that first caution, then you were going to have a good day.
Ricky Rudd, 17th, driving for the Wood brothers out of nearby Stewart, Virginia. For many, many years, the Woods would run the super speedways and Martinsville, their only short track stop, because it was their home racetrack. Side by side, I knew this would get good. Spencer and Schrader at it again.
Yeah, Mongo and Carrot Top. Look out.
Right now, my money's on Mongo. Things could change. Oh, yeah, Mongo's much better looking than that.
Oh, yeah.
Fred Lorenzen in 1964 led 493 of 500 laps. Jeff Gordon is on a similar pace. He's led every one so far.